Have you ever wondered why Samsung keeps going back and forth with its Exynos processors? One year it's Snapdragon everywhere, the next year Exynos shows up again, and then it disappears. Well, the Galaxy S26 series could be the next big stage. For Samsung's in-house chip, the Exynos 2600, and the decision is closer than ever, according to a new report out of South Korea. Samsung is almost ready to kick off mass production of the Exynos 2600. The company's foundry division is preparing to build it on a cutting-edge 2nm process, something that could finally put Exynos back in serious competition with Qualcomm. But here's the catch: Samsung hasn't actually made the final call yet. That decision is expected later this year, sometime in the fourth quarter of 2025. So why the hesitation? It all comes down to performance and efficiency. Samsung is reportedly running internal performance tests right now, and the mobile division, known as MX, will carefully study the results before giving the green light. If the chip runs cool, stable, and can be manufactured at scale without yield problems, then Exynos 2600 could make its debut inside the Galaxy S26 lineup. If not, Samsung may just lean fully on Qualcomm again. Even if Exynos does return, there's one model where it probably won't appear: the Galaxy S26 Ultra. Leaks suggest that Samsung may keep Qualcomm's next-generation Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 as the exclusive chip for the Ultra, while the regular Galaxy S26 and S26 Plus could ship with Exynos in some regions. Now, you might ask, why go through all this trouble when Snapdragon is already proven? The answer is money. Snapdragon chipsets are getting more expensive every year. Not only is Qualcomm raising its prices, but TSMC's 2nm manufacturing costs are also climbing, and Qualcomm has to pass that increase along. For Samsung, relying entirely on Snapdragon would cut into margins, especially on its most popular flagships. Bringing back Exynos gives Samsung more control over costs, and in the long run, it could even improve profit margins without raising phone prices too much for customers. But of course, history hasn't always been kind to Exynos. Fans still remember the Galaxy S20 series, when performance and efficiency differences between Snapdragon and Exynos versions sparked heavy criticism. Since then, Samsung has worked to repair the reputation of its in-house chips, even teaming up with AMD for GPU technology. The Exynos 2600 could be the real test of whether those lessons have finally paid off, and the stakes are higher than ever. With competitors like Apple pushing forward on 3nm chips and Qualcomm refining its Snapdragon line year after year, Samsung can't afford another misstep. If the Exynos 2600 truly delivers with better thermal management, solid GPU performance, and competitive power efficiency, then it might finally convince people that Samsung can stand toe-to-toe with Qualcomm in the flagship space. On the other hand, if the chip falls short, Samsung risks hurting its brand loyalty again. Customers don't like the idea of paying the same price for a Galaxy flagship that performs differently depending on the region. That's why the Ultra model is almost guaranteed to stay Snapdragon only. It's Samsung's insurance policy for its most premium buyers. So, the big question is, will Samsung take the leap and bring the Exynos 2600 into the Galaxy S26 series? We won't know for sure until late this year, but one thing is clear: Samsung is closer than ever to firing up the ovens and giving Exynos another chance at the spotlight. What do you think? Should Samsung keep pushing Exynos or just stick to Snapdragon across the board? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more updates on the Galaxy S26.